points. On to politics. A Washington Post investigation finds that Hillary Clinton was responsible for originating over 100 of the 2,000 classified emails found on her personal server. We want to bring in Fox News senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, good to see you.
Good morning, Maria.
Your
Good morning,
take on
everybody.
this?
Well, you know, every time information comes out about the emails, it seems to be getting worse for Mrs. Clinton. There are 55,000 emails. There are 2,000 that contain material that has been classified as confidential, secret, or top secret. On her first day in office, she signed an oath in which she said that she, after a 2-hour FBI instruction, understood it was her obligation to know secrets when she sees them and to keep them in a secret venue. She obviously did not comply with that oath. Now we find over the weekend that of the 55,000 emails that have been released, of the 2,000 of them that contain confidential, top secret, or secret material, 100 of them were actually written by her, meaning she took secret information in her brain, put it into emails, and sent it to people, some of whom had top secret clearances, some of whom didn't, but all of whom received it via her homebrewed server, which was not a secured venue, and on which it was a criminal act to cause top secret material to reside.
Wow. Jim Comey said that he wants to wrap this up promptly. What do you think that means?
I think that means by May. I mean, you know, we have people from the Justice Department that from time to time give us tidbits of information. It all seems to be coming to a head very soon. The evidence of her failure to safeguard state secrets is well documented, publicly known, and quite frankly, overwhelming. Yeah. It is almost inconceivable that she won't be charged with something. Now, how do they charge her because of who she is? They're not going to, she's not going to wake up one morning and find out she's been indicted. She and her lawyers will be called in and say, here's the evidence we have. Do you want to talk to us? Now, no lawyer worth her or his salt would let the client talk to the FBI without knowing ahead of time what the FBI knows. And the FBI is not going to share all of that with the client. So her option will basically be, okay, I give up. My political career is over, but I'm going to stay out of jail. Let's see what we can negotiate in this. Wow. Or she could say, go take a hike, indict me, the jury will never find me guilty. That will end her political career as well.
Judge, what bearing does what happened to David Petraeus have on her case?
Tremendous.
And because he ultimately pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor.
Tremendous bearing in two respects. One is what David Petraeus pleaded guilty to doing is a tiny, tiny fraction of 1% of the volume that Mrs. Clinton is alleged to have done. In General Petraeus's case, the alleged secrets were allegedly given to his friend who also had a security clearance. There was no question about whether or not they were exposed to friend or foe in a non-secure venue. In Mrs. Clinton's case, it's many, many times that volume, and it probably was exposed to friend or foe, anybody who could hack in. But here's the below the radar thing. The FBI agents who investigated David Petraeus were furious. I say this as a friend and fan of General Petraeus, just for full disclosure, were furious at the wrist slap that he got. The very same FBI agents are the people that are now investigating Mrs. Clinton. So I honestly think that the way the prosecutors handled the Petraeus case will inure to the detriment of Mrs. Clinton because it caused these FBI agents to work harder and more aggressively because they want to see justice done. They believe it was not done in General Petraeus' case.
Judge, before you even get to the top secret emails, what was classified, what wasn't, when you look at FOIA law, is there any sort of, could she have run afoul of FOIA law by setting up the server in the first place, by intentionally circumventing the .gov process so that she could conduct business on her personal server? Doesn't that violate FOIA?
Yes. There's actually 7 cases going on here. One is the criminal investigation. The other 6 are FOIA litigations.
Explain that.
Okay, FOIA is the Freedom of Information Act, which presupposes that all government documents are transparent and available for the public to get. All of this started when Judicial Watch filed a simple Freedom of Information Act request with the State Department for her emails, and the State Department said, we don't have any of her emails. You don't have any of her emails. She was the Secretary of State for 4 years. Then the New York Times discovered, and the Washington Post discovered the secret server in their home in Chappaqua, and then she was forced to download from the server and give to the FOIA judge what had been secured there. That judge, an appointee of her husband, has ordered that all of her senior aides be deposed, examination under oath before trial, looking for whether or not there was a conspiracy in the office of the Secretary of State to violate the FOIA laws and to violate the espionage laws.
I didn't realize that's how it started.
If the Judicial Watch lawyers find such a conspiracy, he then said, come back to me, the judge in the FOIA case, and I'll let you depose Mrs. Clinton. If she is forced to testify under oath before the FBI decides whether or not to charge her, she cannot answer those questions, and that'll be catastrophic to her political career if she takes the Fifth Amendment.
Well, we'll see about that. And you think this is all going to take place? This is going to play out in the next 2 months?
I do.
Judge, thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll see you soon, Judge Napolitano.
Okay.
Before we take a break.